Be the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
President Mahama assign Ababio. Na nsema na nkrofo kase Mahama is the most prepared president ever because wabetena soda. But na nsema na nkrofo suru pa say ade so during his first term and enye no ensanso en repeating no ho in his second term. Enti nipa ne su ne ban in government asesa anase ensesa ye. Yabada ni yeni akọ to the year 2014-2016. Now the year 2014-2016 they important is here. Obuasi gold mine eshasi ese egu. Now Obuasi one of the well-known mining towns in Ghana. Inti upe sika egudi yetu in mining community miners room etwa mukaye omutimidi omuma ko school pa economic zone of Ghana untimi enyi Obuasi infrim. Inti Obuasi sha se edani ghost town as a result of the major company Efankofo Juma sha se egodo. Evino pemso na Otumfuor Osei the second na yebo din ani ama yemuso ebemu eko president Mahama enim se ombua na Obuasi gold mine enya bibi pa engina se ne nkrofo no ntimemfo no benya adwuma na Obuasi as a town, as a community no ebenya bibi pa egina. Na these were the main reasons ntia na Obuasi gold mine egu galamse yenti ana na egu because concession na ye ama company so omuntu na galamse fo na sha se edidim na omu didim omo sa so koso ntokwa. Inti workers a omu ye adwuma wo Obuasi gold mine ene galamse yesi nya nkitawudi obeyede no nya the peace of mind aye adwuma ama company nimpo enya afaso. Inti mine shut down due to what? Losses. The illegal mining activity coupled with other challenges contributed to the mine shutdown and its inability to attract the necessary investment for redevelopment. Inti galamse say affected Ghana no because of President Mahama and yen anadu danko kufa na de buy way back in 2014-2016 na asha say Obuasi egu Obuasi gold mine. Second, security and safety concerns because of the presence of illegal miners into almost so up to etuoni niema de bomb ban nini na affected the security concerns of company environment, 2 company property and the safety of remaining essential staff, 3 fatal accidents. The situation became violent leading to fatal incidents, most notably death of Anglo Gold Ashanti Communications manager John Owusu, February 2016, after he was run over by a vehicle while fleeing a mob of illegal miners. Into Obikura Femu ya friend John Owusu in February 2016. Withdrawal of security. A critical point of contention was the withdrawal of military personnel who had been stationed at the mine, which Anglo Gold Ashanti and the Ghana Chamber of Mines claimed, emboldening the illegal miners and worsening the situation. In the government of Ghana then, military personnel are the man say among Anglo Gold miners home by no omo withdraw to my withdraw ma ekodane free for all we crash bibia na asebno e free eba. Now President Mahama san so abebium Obuasi gold mine abedane Anglo Gold. President Nana Danko for the buy and wa revive company number from South Africa, the investment abushim and then the baby per page na and then you could say ekosi sen ya bibia sanse esase e wo pristia the same issues company ekuremu no omo nso omo experience losses. This time ye be kwa kutie ensema ekoso ho whether comparable to Obuasi gold mine and as a differences ewo. Omanhene Kwabena Sante lawyer Afoakwa and a current MD of this company edi home komo yenkoti
Emma approval to FGR say omun take the controlling Bogoso stake in the Bogoso Pristia mines no now Golden Star Resources and leaseholders of the property or the asset and the same minister and you say obi oni pristia any bogo so mines bia you say aged miner here technical improvement and here financial injection to be able to sustain the mine. I mean strategic investor bia and answer obi bia you say this is the challenge. MDA kasano or kase and pass mines bia no esofa and answer mines bia on the challenge. And it will be a ne precarious challenge and our per solution. The solution was that FGR4 Urbano, they were coming in with technical know-how and with financial or capital injection. Omanhene, FGR4 any approval no, on 30th September 2020, not until 2023. Now, eka amini omo on the site. Even in terms of workers and monument, no compensations, cry no muntimi intia. And we inherited some liabilities that say who take you over an asset. You take over the asset and the liabilities of the predecessor Obetono. I don't say who predecessor no age our liability be or no more. Okikabo a growing concern like he said. Because share the liability now share asset Japadi or hono. Now the 200 we say Utiaka Nase Oye Manobian Faswa. Then you take it on. Unyan Faswa Obin Chile will say compulsory go into that undertaking. There are other assets in different parts of the country, in different parts of West Africa, in different parts of Africa in the world. So Sikana also go investment. Nobody stops you from going in there insofar as you want to go and mine legitimately and legally. Per the covenant and answer the covenants of the leasehold agreement, about for pay because we have section 68. A can't pay section 68 of Act 703 now. We have section 68 1 now. Was it the minister on the recommendation of the commission may suspend or cancel a manual right if the holder A fails to make payment on the due date, whether due to the republic or another person required by or under this act, becomes insolvent or bankrupt. Clearly, this is a statute. And a statutory provision, I'm not quite say, would you media who could say Emra Eda home. Now, and yes, a minister no to me say ultra license Muntino, or so what is a winter workers into a family place. No, David. The law requires under 68(2) so that man notice to the mining company. And mining company amount notice the law says that the notice should not be below 120 days.
That's the minimum.
That's the minimum, 120 days. And notice must state clearly the remedy. The free say what breachy and I say sinto a war ojuma woyenim na Omanhene and sector minister no and a regulator and free say e wo say wo siesie anye sa obedi to mikrata or the amount. Ebe notice ne ba ye no. FGR4 kachire aban say omo sikasam any ade na challenge nti na omo problem nti na omo pese omo sister company and also omo subsidiary bako eye blue gold for no eba and nti na omo pese omo trigger another section 52 provisions as na ka minister mo ho kwan na blue gold no emi take over the asset no say there be a okan say omo no be mine then they will pay something this those arrangement the minister gave a blessing. That's a conditional approval to it, even at the expense that Minerals Commission recommended for a termination of that agreement. Mineral Commission recommended see agreement, but the minister sidestepped the Minerals Commission recommendation and gave conditional approval to FGR4 and a blue gold for proposal.
But knowing very well, say even 120 the common with objections there. That minimum requirement, clearly it was going to be difficult for us to push through.
The framers of the law, and I say the drafters of the law, the draftsman envisage that. He said. You bet you notice be now unia hockey can I say unia hode a wode beye and two now subsection 2 68 subsection 2 now was it the minister shall before suspending or cancelling a mineral right under subsection 1 give notice to the holder and shall in the notice require the holder to remedy a breach of the condition of the mineral right within a reasonable period being not less than 120 days in the case of a mining lease or restricted mining lease or 60 days in the case of another mineral right, and what the breach cannot be remedied to show cause to the reasonable satisfaction of the minister why the mineral right should not be suspended or cancelled. In this case, FGR, did they show cause to the minister? Did they show cause to the minister on why they cannot remedy the breach within the 120 days.
But behind the scenes, which are not documented, clearly that's how sometimes the business goes. But you didn't come say, and I can't also be a back. No come kasa because which means I'm going so 120 days you know try to be a woman and you should be there financially. A bad day say you beat me a kasi a boy within these days let him get the juma. But many clatter so normal in the setup. So if it's on a sem na yeka and I would also try for no if in India want to be so so what do you think that to see what they
winning okay confirm what I'm saying.
Okay,
one me 120 days nka ne papa mu a ne de mra ye adwuma nka 120 days no should start after ma akwa me your friend say permit
I also facilitate
because mini permit
okay, you see, we are talking matters of law because in terms of breach, no, we court to seek remedy, and the court is not a court of morals; it's a court of law. And you acquire emra and the court. Baby, you honey or Casamino, the Tennessee, a restaurant, ye no son, as emra the canon say. This is the procedure of the law. Say you must show courts. It is show courts, no. Usika unya because Minister Mamo say mungu tuya workers neka because now workers no you are indebted to the workers in terms of salaries.
Now salaries, Maza. Salaries. Let's be clear. Be truthful. No, please be truthful because maybe why? Only narrating what happened.
MD. Restrain myself.
Your workers no need your pay.
MD Mr. Obenya Sakwanya no de atosin bia you just note it down.
Na me pese me ka say you MD etiha edi atro say minister mo notice because of Sebi say oye penyin and until no restrain me ho pa. You see I have this document here, a notice of termination of minor leads. This is a copy of the notice. Minister Servium. I can give you the notice application I have all the relevant documents here. I have all the relevant material documents here. Documents be exchange be omobiano mape akwakonya yembetena hasabio immediately because the people's livelihoods are matters of concern to the state. This is a matter of national interest and you be personal interest to Omanhene. Say what's na mines I said that mines here the mines are to care and maintenance krona here a two court na a cool ghost town you heard the two Obuasi from 2014. Obuasi be di as if say Obuasi was not even a peri-urban community. Obuasi and the station no and a ghost town oko marketing ade nyina na e grade bibi ankoso ko bogo so ne ko prisia ko say e bra a golden star e ko former FGR be take over no sign na bogo so any prisia kro no nesia but for this illegal mining activity no e ka kro nyina e tu na kro. Okay, so we are talking about the livelihood of the people and this is a strategic national asset.
Yeah, don't watch but this letter I brought your attention now. Notice of termination of mining leases, and it's dated 20th September 2024, and it's the regional manager. The above subject matter refers. Please take note that following the termination of the mining lease of FGR Bogoso Prestia mines, the mineral rights covering the Bogoso Prestia mine have reversed to the state. Consequently, the Minerals Commission, which is responsible for the regulation of the mining industry, as well as the management and utilization of the mineral resources of the state, is now responsible for managing the Bogoso Prestia mine until a new investor is formed. Therefore, you are hereby appointed to oversee. It has the names of the people there. We are aware of this letter.
Very much aware.
We are aware.
Very much aware.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So Omanhene, say because say yama notice. You see, minister cannot unilaterally say necessary pen paper or the pen paper. Say we trade because when you say why investment, who is can about say basically stock market now koya and go physical and I will trade you it. And there is timelines or did you maybe any bibia.
But notice of termination of mining leases for Bogoso Prestia Limited. It says notice is hereby. This is a notice is hereby given that your mining leases are terminated due to the following reasons. And it says, 1. It may be recalled that per his letter dated 17th April 2024, the minister responsible for mines conditionally approved the transfer of the Bogoso Prestia mines to Boost Gold Bogoso Prestia Limited, subject to the payment of the applicable statutory fees, among other conditions precedent that the company was required to fulfill within 120 days, which expired on 16th August 2024. These conditions were set out in the said letter as follows. Within 2 weeks from the date of receipt of the letter, the company was to commence the payment of all salaries of workers that are legitimate and due, and shall complete the payment of all such outstanding legitimate salaries not later than 30th of May 2024. That means that of course, let me
what was it from November 2023 till timer omuyewe workers na no mo nkwa adwuma omo starting strike no omo jaya adwuma pamo managers no every site it eno one. But before that time, before November, the company didn't owe them salaries. Company need to every month.
But it's strange because point 2 or say reasons, no.
Salary na make one say me.
Point 2 reasoning, no. Within 120 days after receipt of this letter, the company
2 weeks.
120 days after receipt of the letter, the company was to submit evidence that is satisfactory to the minister and the Minerals Commission of financial resources available to pay conditions and operate the mine. First one, no more issues. And I'm always the objection in the form of a letter to the minister.
Me say,
Omanhene, or say no Monday workers car. This is a letter.
Salaries salaries up till November 2023. Almost started some kwejuma. From that time until asemi buy. It's more issue no buy no na company no can say we need to audit because omon kwejuma no na ye wo nkrofobia from essential workers amo de no mo kwejuma nti ese audit ni hu omo a ese etu omoka any omo because if you elect not to go to work me mama tu oka o dey say but the snag there is that ese say no more financial work accrediting bibi say social security no muntu mintua provident fund no muntu mintua but the ayini say senka yi to me restore sanity in a year adwuma dia any kebetua.
So the point is that why didn't you raise issues with
the they were raised now at that time no me say I was not part of the management but it was according to say buy no me beside me started my first July no me beside say mo documentation way omo ko fa buy me share we but me put me can say me sa letter we no sa conditional we no say me ya bo achi ne de maami a come nje.
Because the third reason is that before the expiration of the 120 days the mine should be up and running fully operational.
When you don't have your permit it and America say
the ministry itself says over facilitated.
It's one facilitated.
So you are the assumption which I believe should be the case that ministry nanka so baba supervise me query me no ono ankasa catch them say krache corner ye adwuma say we now whilst we try to facilitate it for you.
Oh debi yenye sa in the mine so we need environmental permit
because of the ministry through the minister ekasema Mahama yankasa
ye be
facilitate the process and the amamo clearly
ma only you call EPA no EPA for say isa say munim yenim the status of your mining lease inti you to me review my document just say you know the status of your mining lease.
Okay, remember so one you agree in principle to the reasons for the termination. What I'm saying.
I disagree.
Okay, good. It was
okay. Liabilities are net that FGR for so. Ghana lady name be diagro. Omanhene 10% free carried interest in large scale mining operations. The nation is expecting at least say company be profit. No declare dividends. Yet be support national development. So we got to say as what the could grow as if say in the personal property and all the years now you are breaching the national interest. As of the time 9th September 2024, this is a notice from the National Pensions Regulatory Authority to the Chief Executive Officer FGR Bogosu Pristia Mines Pristia. Notice of intention to take legal action. Demand notice for payment of pension contributions in arrears and accrued surcharges.
But he admits
on behalf of employees of FGR Bogosu Pristia Mines of an amount of 27,235,713.90. How many workers? On what forces?
But what you have to say, there are financial challenges. That is why
exactly.
So good for the minister to also give them that room
if you admit, say you are in financial challenges, then it means that you satisfy the condition under section 68(1) of the Mine and Minerals Act of 2006, Act 703, which says that when you fail to make payment, any all those financial requirements now, akin to your mining lease now, the minister can serve notice on you, and when you fail to remedy the said issues raised in the notice now, the minister after the expiration of the days granted, not less than 120 days, can terminate the mining lease.
Because minister, you've come to see, say, yes, so far you're breaking for almost a year. Before that break, now you ultimate trade, you might phone a specific time be. Compare says, who you maintain was by Anna. Now you're on contribution from Yama mines and Juman Sanko from there. Essentially, I'll be a but now who hears audited. At this point, Sika is a problem. You payment the Biatike. I found the minister cried, as I say, all these difficulties, the expectation of the minister was that they should audit within this specific period and then blah blah blah, make sure everything will be straight away. When one of their basic challenges was finance.
Only finance I want to run a mine. You can't operationalize a mine.
So from the get-go,
if you don't have finances, you can't operationalize a mine in any part of the world, not even Ghana alone. Even the small-scale mining operations are more, I didn't think I'm Ghana for foreigners like Chinese miners now, almost because they don't have the capital, the liquidity. You can't do mining.